Hey, I'm going to try to work with you a little bit more on assignment two. And you remember in assignment one, I did a real brief kind of evaluation of Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. Now, this takes it a step farther. If I need to go back and change anything in my original explanation, then I would go in now and do so. If, for an example, I said that the focal point was maybe this apostle right here, and I gave you a reason, but now I've decided, oh no, it's really not. It's the central figure, which is Christ. That's the focal point, and then I would give you the reason. So I'm going to make that correction if, in fact, I made that mistake. So if you have some suggestions from assignment one, do employ those in what you write here for assignment two. Now, in addition, there are two things you're doing on this one. One is you're doing some research. It may have changed your opinion a little bit, and if it does, include that in your comments. And two, I want you to start giving us some sources. Now, we're getting you ready for the MLA formatting, and that is something you're going to have to learn at some point. I'm going to post this, which is a sample page PDF, which gives you some ideas, some tips up here. You have to use a works cited for an example and that kind of thing. I'm going to post that at any rate, and when I do so, you feel free to download it. I'll put it in announcements. You download it so you can see what it is you might need to know about putting together an MLA. All right, so anyway, you're going to do some research, and one of the places I went to was this site, which is jdax.com in UK, and it's got some wonderful kind of discussions about the Da Vinci. Now, before I went to that, I went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and they have this really nice discussion on the Last Supper here. So I'm doing some research now. This isn't about elements and principles. This is about what the artist is trying to say. And one of the things that you were asked to do was to give your opinion on what was really going on in the sense of what is the artist trying to communicate. So that's kind of what got me started on this. And when I did further research after this, so if I were putting together my MLA, my sources, in other words, this is one of the ones I would use, the Met Museum, and I would be a little more specific than just that according to this particular term. I think there's a place on that. This is a print medium, print. Somewhere I believe there's something for internet, and if it's not there, I'll send you something. But anyway, so you want to have all those sources put together. And anyway, this other source that I found that was really, really good talks about a lot of the controversies with, and this is this wonderful picture. It gives you the setting here in the monastery where Da Vinci painted this. This was the refectory, or the kind of old-fashioned cafeteria, and it was certainly suitable that they would have this wonderful image of the Last Supper over their heads. It was, as I say, in a monastery, which of course was a religious situation. All right, and what this particular thing did that I liked and was getting ready, if I were writing this really, is it talks about a number of controversies with this particular thing. And if you come across that, by all means, if you have an opinion, put them in there and do some work on them. It tells you, among other things, that prior to even finishing this piece, it started deteriorating. And that was one of the problems with this. And that's why a lot of the controversy is here, because the original, we really don't know. It was like Da Vinci laid down his brush in 1496, and by 1498, rather, when he laid down his brush in 1498, almost the next day it began to deteriorate. He was experimenting with a way of making fresco, and it wasn't a very good way because it started to deteriorate. Anyway, it was restored, and we can only guess at some of the content on that restoration. I'm not sure if that doesn't give you a very good idea. Maybe I can, well, that's certainly another version. Let's see if I can get you to the one where you see a nice restoration of it. I guess not. Anyway, without making you dizzy, I'll quit that silliness. Anyway, this is certainly a version that is supposedly reflects what the restoration is, although it too is very different. The nice thing about this site, what I was telling you about, the reason I went here, is it has all of these controversies discussed. And if I wanted to explore those, I would do so. And then I would, of course, include this site as one of the sources in my works cited. And that's one of the things that you have to kind of do in this particular piece, okay, or this particular assignment. So all of that is just a way of setting you guys up so that it might be a little bit easier. Whoop, I can't get you back to the site, sorry. So it might be a little bit easier for you to do this analysis in 2. You're going to do the same thing, only now you're going to pull your research into it, and you're going to give us the citing of all of those sources that you used in your research. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, good luck. I'll look forward to reading from you.